Dear friends, welcome to the science class. So in the last class, we started with the topic named as getting to know about our plants. So in the last class, we discussed about the different types of the plants. Right, we are classified into 5 groups. Mainly we have 3 groups, but depending on the other things, we classified into them into the 5 groups. Right, so the first one is the herbs. Right, the herbs is nothing but which has the green stem as well as they have green stem as well as they have the branches are near to the base of the stem. So depending on that they are classified into the herbs, and the stem of those things is smoother one. In the same manner, if you take the shrub, it has the brown colored stem and it is thicker one. But very smaller one. Because of that thing, those are known as the shrubs. Third category is nothing but the plant's height is larger than us. They are very tall. Depending on that, again their color of the stem is brownish color and the thickness of that stem is larger and they are harder. Depending on that thing, those are classified into the trees. Right, as well as some of the plants doesn't have the stronger stem. So because of that, they are going to take the support of the ground. So they are going to spread on the ground. Those type of plants are known as the creepers. And some plants are going to take the help of this some stick or some wall, and they are going to climb on those things. So those type of plants are known as the climbers. They are going to take the support of the other things and they are going to climb on those things. Those type of plants are known as climbers. So about that we discussed in the last class. So depending on the life cycle of the plant, we classify it into the 3 types. After this thing, we classify them depending on their physical properties. That is nothing but how they look, what are the size and structure of the stem, and where does the branches are going to occur. Depending on that thing, we classify into 5 types. Now we have another 3 types depending on the life cycle of the plant. Right? And those 3 types are nothing but first one is the annuals. So what do you mean by annuals? That is nothing but they are going to give only one season. Right? They are going to give only one season. In one season, they are going to the life cycle is going to end. Now, for example, wheat and mustard. So we can harvest wheat only one time. If you take harvest, if you cut that wheat, again we can't take that wheat. Again we have to plant the wheat seeds into the ground. Then we are going to take it out, harvest it. So those type of plants are known as what? Those type of plants are known as annuals. Those are nothing but they are going to end in only one season. Right? After that, their life cycle is going to be end. The second type is biennials. Example: carrot, radish, and potato. So they are going to give yield 2 times. So after 2 years or after 2 seasons of the yielding, they are going to get the life cycle of those things are going to get over. Right? In the same manner, third is the perennial. So if you take the example of the mango tree, if you take the example of the guava tree or bamboo tree, what they are going to do? They are continuously going to give us the fruit. Right? Season wise. There is no need for replanting that plant so that we are going to get mangoes or guava. So those type of plants are known as what? Those type of plants are known as perennials. Their life cycle is going to end after very more seasons. Not in one season, not in 2 seasons. They are going to continuously give us the fruits continuously. So that the life cycle of that thing is not going to end early. So those type of plants are known as what? Those type of plants are known as the perennials. So now next we are going to discuss about some important parts of the plant. So you already know that parts of the plants are nothing but one is the leaf, second one is the stem, they contain flower, they contain buds, they contain the fruit, they contain the root. So each of those things we are going to discuss separately, and we are going to study about each part and their uses separately. So the first part we are going to take here is the stem. We are going to take the first part is the stem. So what is the stem here? What is the stem here? Stem is nothing but if you take each and every plant, those plants are having a central axis. If you take each and every plant, it may be a shrub or it may be a herb or it may be a tree. If you take all those plants, they are having a central axis. On those central axis, there will be branches. On those branches, there will be flowers, or there will be fruits, or there will be what? There will be the leaves. So, whatever the central axis which is present here, this central axis is nothing but what? It is the stem. It is the stem. So if you check your surroundings, if you check stems of different kinds of the plant, those have the different colors, those have the different thickness, or those are the different hardness. Right? So depending on that, we have the soft stem, we have a thicker stem, we have a thinner stem, we have a hard stem. In the same manner, the color of those stems will be vary. Either maybe it may be a brownish color, right? Either maybe it in the greenish color, right? So this is about the stem, and the stem is going to give the support to the plant. Without stem, it is possible that the plant is going to stand there like that only. No, it is not possible. So the stem is the essential component of the plant, which is going to give the support to this plant. Support to this plant. Right? Already we know those things about those things in the earlier classes about why the stem is required, why the stem is important. Now today we are going to discuss what is the purpose and what is the work of the stem here. So for doing that thing, we are going to do an activity. We are going to do an activity. So that activity is nothing but what? It is about why stem is essential for the plant. Right? For that reason, what we are going to do here, we are going to take a beaker. We are going to take a beaker. In that beaker, we are going to add small amount of water. We are going to add small amount of water. Right? In that beaker, we are going to add small amount of water. In that small amount of water, we are going to take a stem that is smooth stem, very very smoother stem, and we are going to cut that stem from the root. From the root, we are going to separate the root from that stem like this. So we are going to keep that stem in this water. We are going to keep that stem in this water. Right. We have cut this stem so that it is the opening here. So we are going to keep that stem into a water. So next what we are going to do, we are going to add small amount of blue ink or red ink. Either blue ink or red ink into this container. Either blue ink or red ink into this container. Right. Now what will happen here? Just take an example. In this thing, if you add, instead of the stem, if you add the paper, what will happen? Paper is going to pull the water from that container. It is going to get the water from that container and paper is going to become wet. If paper is getting the water from that container, it contains the blue ink or red ink. That paper is also going to get the blue ink or red ink. Right? There will be transfer of the blue and the red ink towards the paper. Right? In the same manner, if you leave this setup for either one day or for the 2 days or for a few minutes time or few hours time, then check it, closely check it. Here we are taking a stem which is very very smoother and it is transparent one. When you check it, there will be transfer of water along with this. There will be transfer of the water along with the ink here through the stem. Right? Again, if you leave that thing for further more time, what will happen? This thing is going to carry towards the leaves. this thing is going to carry towards the leaves. Again, after some time, if you check here, this whatever the color which is present here in this container along with the water is going to transfer from the stem to the leaves. Again, those things we are going to see in these veins of the leaves, these lines in the whatever the lines which are present there. Those lines are nothing but veins. In those things we are going to see about the blue color or red color, whichever color you are going to use here. That color we are going to see in that leaves. So from where these leaves are getting the colored substance, that nothing but water. So instead of water, to check that transfer of the water, we are adding the blue color and red color. So that we are seeing the blue or red color here in this case. So that from where those are getting the blue or red color? Those are getting the blue and red color from this container. So which one is helping here to get that blue and red color? This stem is helping. Whatever the stem is here, that stem is helping in the transfer of the water bodies from this thing to the leaves and upper portion of the tree. So in the same manner, whatever we have seen here, in the same manner, when a plant is planted, if there is the growth of the stem is going to transfer the nutrients which are present in the soil along with the water to the leaves. So if you check here, we are going to, when you plant a tree, we are going to add water at the root side. As well as some nutrients will be present or some minerals will be present in the soil. So how does those minerals and water are going to transfer to the leaves? Since leaves are the major portion where they are going to prepare their own food, for that purpose they require water as well as mineral. So which one is helping in the transfer of the water and the mineral? So that nothing but the stem is helping the transfer of the water and mineral from the soil, from these roots to the leaves. Like this, if you check here, again the blue and red ink is transferred from here to the leaves. In the same manner, whatever the minerals and the water which is present at the soil region, those are going to absorbed by the root, they are going to transfer by the stem to the leaves. So here we can say that stems help in the transfer of water and minerals to the leaves. From the root. Right. Like this, they are going to transfer everything which is present in the soil along with the water. Right. So here some of the tissues which are present there, those tissues are nothing but xylem or phloem. Here the xylem tissue is present. That xylem tissue is going to help in the transfer of the water and minerals from root to this leaf. So about that thing we are going to discuss in the further sections, higher sections. Up to that point, just remember, stem is going to help in the transfer of the water and the mineral from the soil to the leaves. So this is about the stem. Right. So if we check the stem here, again if you cut the stem and if you check the stem here, stem looks like this. The cross section of the stem looks like this. If you cut that stem, the cross section of the stem looks like this. If you correctly cut the stem here, the cross section of the stem looks like this. Right. Another thing about the stem, about this we know that the stem is going to help in the transfer of the water as well as it is going to help in the transfer of the mineral. Again, what it is going to do, it is going to protect the trees from the wind and from those any other things which are going to harm the tree. As well as stem is going to give the support, necessary support which is required for the tree. which is required for the trees. In the same manner, all other components of the trees like the branches, like the leaves and the fruits as well as the flowers are going to derive from the stem only. Are going to derive from the stem only. So if it is the stem, so then those branches are going to come like that. In those branches there will be presence of the leaves, there will be presence of the fruit, and there will be the presence of the birds as well as flowers. So all other components of the trees are going to derive from the stem. So all other those things are attached to the stem. So this is all about the stem. So next we are going to discuss about the leaves. Now next component of the plant is the leaf. So if you check in your surroundings with the different plants, those different plants have the different leaves. The size, shape, and the color of those plants will be different from them. Those leaves of the color of the leaves, size and shape will be different only. So we are going to take a general structure of the leaves and we are going to see about the components of the leaves. So if you check here, a general leaf looks like this, which is connected to a stem, right? And maximally all the leaves are what? Those are green in color. So this portion, whatever the portion it will be present on the broad portion will be present on the leaves, it will be green in color. It will be green in color. Right. This is the generalized structure of the leaf. We are generally going to draw the leaf structure like this. So this is the stem. This is the stem. So here, whatever we already know that leaves are going to grow on the stem, either on the branches or either on the stem. So whatever the connection between the stem to the leaves, so here it is the connected. So this connection between the leaves and the stem is nothing but what? It is the known as the petiole. It is known as what? Petiole. So what is the petiole here? Petiole is nothing but the part by which leaf is attached to the stem. So petiole is nothing but what? It is the part by which the leaf is attached to. The leaf is attached to the stem. Right. So petiole is nothing but it is the part of the leaf which is helping in the attachment of the leaf to the stem. Right. Now whatever the green color part is there here, the broader green color part, that is nothing but it is known as the lamina. It is known as what? It is known as the lamina. So the green color portion is nothing but what? It is the lamina. This thing. So what is the lamina here? Lamina is nothing but the broad green part of the leaf is called lamina. So the broad green colored part of the leaf. Colored part of the leaf is known as lamina. It is known as what? It is known as the lamina. Right. These are the few important parts which can directly identify. So this part is nothing but petiole. This part is nothing but what? It is the lamina. So if you take the leaf here, we just identify two parts only. So if you check here, clearly see here, we have another part of the leaf here. So just thick line in between here. So there will be smaller parts also there, smaller branches in that, leaves also there. So what are those parts? What are those leaves? So we are going to identify those leaves by doing an activity. So in that activity, leaf, we have to do some work. What we have to do work here? We have to collect some of the leaves of the plants. Right? So take a larger leaf. So those leaves should be completely filled in the sheet of the paper. Right? So we are going to take a drawing sheet of paper. In that drawing sheet of paper, we are going to take a leaf with a larger size, comparatively larger size, so that we are going to actually correctly draw that leaf on a paper. So what we are going to do? We are going to take that leaf and we are going to put that leaf below the paper. We are going to put that leaf below the paper. By using this pencil, we are going to take the impression of that leaf. We are going to take the impression of that leaf. So below that we are putting the leaf. On that we are going to put the piece of the paper. On the piece of the paper using the pencil, we are going to take the impressions like this. We are going to take the impressions like this. So if you take the example here, if you take this 1 rupee coin, we are going to put the 1 rupee coin below. On that we are going to put the paper and we are going to take the seize pencil and we are going to impress. We are going to take the impression by applying this seize pencil on that coin. So whatever the coin which have the impressions are going to come onto the paper. Right, 1 rupee coin. In that 1 rupee coin, we are going to see the symbol of 1, as well as we are going to see these some structures which are formed on that 1 rupee coin. Right. So in that same manner, we are going to take a leaf. We are going to put that leaf below a paper, so that we are going to take the impression on the paper by using the seize pencil. So when you take the impression here, this leaf looks like this. When you take impression, this leaf looks like this. So there will be smaller branches like this on the leaves. We are going to take all the impressions which are present on the leaves, and it is one a colorful one. Right. So it is nothing but we already know that it is a petiole and all the greenery color. So whatever the impression which is going to come, the broad portion is nothing but what? It is the lamina. Right. So when you check here, you are going to get some lines like this. These lines. Whatever lines you are going to get here, these are the lines which you are going to get while taking the impressions of this leaf. So these lines are nothing but what? These lines are the veins. These lines are veins. Whatever the smaller lines which are present here, those lines are nothing but what? Those lines are the veins. Right. In the same way, whatever you are going to see in your hand, those are nothing but veins. Those impressions are nothing but veins. In the same manner, these leaves are going to give an impressions, linear impressions. Those line impressions are nothing but what? Those are known as the veins. Right. In the same manner, if you take here, in the middle there is a prominent line is there. If you take side lines, those lines are very smaller and they are cutted on. See, it is cutted on, it is cutted on. So that if you take here at the middle, there is a prominent line is there. So this prominent line is nothing but it is the midrib. It is known as what? It is known as the midrib of the leaf. So this line is nothing but what? It is the midrib. So midrib of the leaf. It is a prominent line. It is a prominent line. Right. In the same manner, if you take here, these lines are nothing but what? Those are nothing but veins, and therefore the prominent line which is present at the center of that tree is nothing but what? It is the midrib of the leaf. In the same manner, whatever the pattern which is going to provide by the veins, so it is going to give the different structure. This structure is nothing but what? It is known as the leaf venation. It is known as what? It is known as the leaf venation. So the design, leaf venation, this design, the various design which is going to give by the leaf, by the veins is nothing but what? It is known as the leaf venation. So the different design, the design provided by the veins of the leaves, are leaf venation, are nothing but what? Are the leaf venation. So whatever the design is going to provided by the leaf lines which are present here, the veins, it is nothing but what? It is the leaf venation. It is nothing but what? Leaf venation. Right. So I hope everything is clear about the leaf here. So about the uses of the leaf, what is the function of the leaf, we are going to see in the next class. Up to that point, just see here what are the various components of the leaf. So this is the petiole, and these are nothing but the broad section is nothing but what? Lamina, and the thick line is present inside here, it is nothing but midrib of the leaves, and these lines are nothing but veins of the leaves, and whatever the structure which is going to give by the veins of the leaves is nothing but what? Which is leaf venation. It is nothing but what? Leaf venation. So in the leaf venation we have two types. In the leaf venation we have two types. Depending on the different designs of the leaf venation, we have two types. So one is the reticulate venation. We have two types. One is the reticulate venation. Another one is the parallel venation. So what is the reticulate venation here? This is nothing but it is a reticulate venation. So reticulate venation is nothing but what? There, if the designs are net-like on the both the sides, if the designs are the net-like on the both the sides, here the designs are net-like on the both the sides, then the venation is known as the reticulate venation. So if the designs are net-like on the both the sides, net-like on the both sides, are reticulate venation. See here, both the designs are on both sides, it is net-like, so that those are known as what? Those are known as the reticulate venation. In the same way, parallel venation is nothing but what? If the veins are parallel to each other, those are nothing but those are known as the parallel venation. If the veins are parallel to each other, then they are known as parallel venation. So what is the parallel venation here? If we take the midrib like this, if the veins are like this, if they are parallel to each other, then that is known as the parallel venation. So about the parallel venation, they are given a diagram on the page number 56 in your textbook. So they are given the leaf venation, reticulate venation, they are also given, as well as they are given the parallel venation. If the veins are parallel to each other, then it is known as the parallel venation. If the veins are net-like structure, then those are known as the reticulate venation. So this is about this, something about some information about the leaves. So further thing about the leaves we are going to discuss in the next class. Up to that point, thank you, take care, stay well, stay home.